Evening, folks. Brian here, Geomagnetic Earthwatch on Sunday, March 12th, 2023 on our planet. Hope you're all well this evening. I want to talk a little bit about what I see coming up. It's not Agenda 2030 timeline date. It's a lot sooner. Agenda 23, that's all part of the distraction. They want you to think that you have 7 years to prepare. No, you don't. Sorry. Now, the recent pandemic of 2019 was a test by different definitions. One was a test of your compliance and submission. And in a sense, a lot of people passed the test. They complied. They submitted. Not all of us. Now, the mentally enslaved refused to critically think for themselves, and they accepted the restrictions, the mandates, the handouts, and that's all part of the long-term plan. But it also ridded society of all our past good memories of who we once were, including our freedoms and liberties, and they're going to take more of that away from us soon. Now, there's a few of us, however, like that lion, who are self-educated, who cannot be fooled by the institutionalized propaganda machine. We are armed with knowledge and truth. And we have to do battle with the ignorance, deception, and the lies. Because that is to be doing battle with the upcoming beast system, the spiritual battle. For those who are awake spiritually, I do not have to define that any further. Now, before bringing in the beast system, the existing institutions and their structure and their framework must first be destroyed, demolished, imploded, proved and shown to be worthless, useless. Now, the Fed has been doing this for some time by their interest rate increases after increase after increase after increase, making it more and more difficult for new home buyers to buy their first homes and for existing homeowners to maintain their mortgage payments. They default, they lose their homes. They will own nothing. And they won't be happy. Now, we have the banking system imploding. And the way I see it, that's orchestrated. Before you can bring in a beast system through the Great Reset, you have to destroy that which you are dependent upon already. You're going to destroy it for them by doing the bank runs starting tomorrow. Bring down a couple. I understand there's 3 banks now. You instill global fear, and everybody's going to be doing bank runs on something that does not exist. The money, your money does not exist. Your account is a number. That is it. You're not going to get anything substantial out. If anything, you're going to get 10% because that's all the banks have to hold is 10% of that number that you have in the bank. Cause that financial system to implode, then you can bring in the central bank digital currency system, the digital dollar, the government-controlled digital dollar, which is all part of the framework, the structure for the future beast system to be implemented through the Great Reset. However, before that happens, the way I see it, a lot of people are going to be losing a lot. no paychecks, no ability to pay mortgage, their rent, their bills, car payments, etc. for a period of time. Now, please remember my previous talks and what it means to have the government-imposed, controlled digital dollar. And what it means if you choose not to comply to being digitally tagged and identified. If you choose not to, in my opinion, you don't get any government benefits. You don't get any pension. You get no disability pension like me. You get no medical and dental benefits services. If you work for an employer, you can't get a paycheck. If you're self-employed, you can't do that anymore. You can't buy food or any other essentials. If you have a house and a mortgage payment, that's a big question. Who's going to handle the mortgage payments? And if you already have a debt-free house, how are you going to pay your property taxes? You will owe nothing because they'll take it away from you. Maybe not starting Monday, but starting Monday, we'll see. Now, the way I've been seeing things, there's two things. There's two agendas. There's two things happening. One is the Agenda 2030, which gives you a false sense of security. I keep on saying by 2025. Now that goes into the beast system, and that's all part of tribulation. And the second is the distraction campaign by the governments of the impending earth changes to soon be upon us, and that is also going into a period of tribulations. The earthquakes in diverse places, the pestilence, the famines, and the signs from above, and the beginning of sorrows and the birthing pains. Now, I'm going to have to cut this short because something has happened in Indonesia. Some very deep earthquakes where we do not have deep earthquakes on northern Java, Surabaya. It's my wife's country, her family. So I had to break off and I had to cover those. Some concerning earthquakes. Deep earthquakes 589 kilometers deep where we don't have them ever. Anyway, I stand by my assertion that Agenda 2030 will be by 2025. And so this gets into the topic of a state of preparedness, the mindset, knowledge, and how this has to be a daily thought process now and how it's going to affect you and your family, but taking the next steps in preparedness, practical changes in getting ready. Unfortunately, everybody's weakness is cash. They're dependent on it, okay? And the government knows that. Our weakness is cash. We have to have it. Now, some of us try and get by without it, like growing our own food, for example. Trying to do things ourselves, our own way. Breaking away from the system, the matrix, the man. But they know that, and they're going to use your weakness. They're going to take that away from you. The beginnings of despair, desperation, losses that we have to go through. And when they see us in that state, it could be just as bad or even worse than the last Great Depression 100 years ago. Then they'll bring in the beast system. A lot of things to consider, folks. I'm not a scaremonger. All you people know that. I'm not a fearmonger. I'm awake. So are a lot of you. Now the question is, are you about to take that next step from knowledge to the practical steps in preparedness? And and getting ready to leave the matrix, the system, the man, before you become enslaved in the beast system. And how many of you are only a one-sided in your family? And the other half just doesn't see it, doesn't believe you, doesn't want anything to do with it. Are you the lion and they're the sheep? Anyway, folks, I had to get back to this earthquake here. A little bit concerning, as well as some earthquakes off the coast of New Zealand. I got to get caught up because there's SHTF about to happen. Get back to you.